So what if I told you that there's a Japanese concept that might just hold the key to a longer, happier, and more meaningful life? It's called Ikigai, and it's all about finding your reason for being. In this explainer, we're going to dive deep into what it is and, more importantly, how you can find your own. Okay, let's start with a really fascinating question. In our world, which is so fast-paced and, let's be honest, pretty stressful, how is it that some people don't just live past 100? They actually thrive. They're active, they're happy, they're completely engaged with life. What is their secret? Well, it turns out the answer might be hiding in plain sight in places researchers call blue zones. These are these incredible little pockets around the world where people live the longest, healthiest lives. They're like living laboratories for longevity. And here they are. There are 5 of them scattered across the globe. You've got Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, Loma Linda, California, yep, right in the US, the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, and Ikaria in Greece. Now, while they all have some things in common, we're going to zoom in on one in particular, Okinawa, Japan. It's where our key idea, Ikigai, is just woven into the very fabric of daily life. So this is it, Ikigai. Now, there isn't a perfect one-word translation in English, but it basically means your reason to live, or my favorite way to think of it, your reason to get up in the morning. It's that sweet spot where what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for all come together. For the people in Okinawa, their Ikigai is the engine that drives them every single day. And you know, this super centenarian, Walter Bruning, who lived to be 114, he absolutely nailed it. He said, if you keep your mind and body busy, you'll be around a long time. The key here isn't just being busy for the sake of it, it's being meaningfully busy. It's about having a purpose that keeps you going. Okay, so that sounds great, right? But how do you actually find that purpose? Well, the first pillar of Ikigai is all about finding your flow. It's about getting so absorbed in something you love that you lose track of time. Just think about this for a minute. You know that feeling when you're completely focused on one single thing? Your mind is clear, you feel totally in control, and hours can feel like minutes? Now compare that to multitasking. You're jumping all over the place, you're full of doubts, and every minute feels like an eternity. And this isn't just a feeling, by the way. This is backed by science. Research from Stanford University found that multitasking can slash our productivity by a whopping 60%. Every time we switch tasks, our brain has to hit the brakes and reboot. And that just drains our energy and leaves us feeling like we've done nothing at all. So, what's the antidote to all that chaos? It's flow. Flow is that magical state where you are so completely absorbed in what you're doing that the rest of the world just fades away. Time disappears, you're at the top of your game, and it just feels good. This is where your Ikigai really sparks to life. And you can see this in the masters of their craft. Think about the sushi chef Jiro Ono, who found endless joy in making the perfect piece of sushi for decades. Or the animator Hayao Miyazaki, who would get so lost in drawing that he'd work even on holidays. And Albert Einstein? He found his flow not just in physics, but also in playing his violin. They all found their passion and protected their time to get lost in it. But, and this is a big but, finding your personal flow is only half the battle. The second pillar of Ikigai shows us something really important. A long, happy life is almost never a solo journey. It is built on deep, meaningful connections with other people. In Okinawa, they have this absolutely beautiful tradition called a moai. A moai is basically a group of lifelong friends who promise to support each other through everything. It's like a second family, a social safety net that's there for you emotionally, financially, for your entire life. It's an amazing concept. And this all comes to life in Ogimi, which is known as the village of longevity. Here, community is everything. Life is packed with celebrations. There's a strong sense of teamwork they call yuimaru, which means helping each other out. And crucially, everyone feels like they have a role to play. No one is just left on the sidelines. And I think this quote from an 88-year-old resident just says it all, doesn't it? Food won't help you live longer. The secret is smiling and having a good time. So while diet is part of it, for her, the real secret sauce is joy. It's connection. It's those shared good times. So we have purpose and we have community. The final pillar of Ikigai brings it all down to our daily habits. And what it shows us is that a long life isn't about extreme diets or punishing workouts. No, it's about small, simple, and consistent choices. To really get this, let's think about stress for a second. Our cave-dwelling ancestors, they experienced stress in these short, intense bursts, like running from a saber-toothed tiger. But us, today, our brains react to every single email notification or phone ping like it's a mini threat. And that leads to this constant low-level drip of the stress hormone cortisol, which just wears us down over time. So how do the Okinawans fight this? With simple, mindful habits. One of the most famous is hara hachi bu. It's a little saying they repeat before they eat, and it's a reminder to stop when you're about 80% full, not completely stuffed. That little bit of calorie restriction is actually one of the most powerful anti-aging strategies there is. And their diet totally reflects this idea of moderation. It's mostly plant-based, lots of veggies and tofu, and it's really low in sugar, salt, and meat. They also drink a ton of something called sampincha, which is a jasmine tea that's just packed with antioxidants. It's a diet that nourishes the body instead of weighing it down.
Now, here's the other big killer of modern life: sitting all day. And this quote, wow, it's pretty shocking. Your metabolism slows down by 90% after just a half hour of sitting. 90%. But here's the good news. The fix is so simple. You just have to get up for a few minutes.
And this is exactly what people in the blue zones do. It's not about running marathons or hitting the gym for hours. It's about gentle, consistent movement that's just part of their day. Walking, gardening, taking the stairs, playing low-impact sports, it all adds up.
This all brings us to a really fantastic way to think about Ikigai, and it comes from Joy Ito at the MIT Media Lab. He says a map gives you a rigid plan, but the world is always changing, so that map can get outdated really fast. A compass, on the other hand, it doesn't give you a path, but it always points you in the right direction.
And that right there is the heart of it. Ikigai isn't some final destination you have to arrive at. It's your personal compass. It's that gut feeling that you're heading in a direction that's meaningful to you, guiding you along this long, joyful, and purposeful journey we call life.
So that leaves us with one last and maybe the most important question to think about. Forget about the big, complicated plans for a minute. Just ask yourself this: what is your reason to get up in the morning? What is your compass pointing towards? Answering that question might just be the first step to finding your own Ikigai.